Sean Spicer, former press secretary for Donald Trump and author of the upcoming book out on October 26th called Radical Nation, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's Dangerous Plan for America, joins me now. Sean, good to see you, as always. This was so incredibly petty. What other president has ever asked anybody to do this before?
This has never happened before. And I think for a lot of folks in D.C., they go, oh, this is what normally happens. Actually, it's not. And the worst part about it is, so number one, they don't have the right. We have a 3-year term. We were appointed to in my case, the U.S. Naval Academy Board of Visitors, and H.R. McMaster and General Keynes to the West Point Board. And so number one, it doesn't happen. Number two, the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, came out into the White House press briefing room. And instead of saying, well, the president wanted to change, she said that, she was going to talk about qualifications. And I thought, oh, my God, OK, look, I don't put my name in the same list as General Keane or Lieutenant General Swan or Lieutenant General McMaster. But I've served for 22 years. I have a master's degree from the U.S. Naval War College. I have several decorations and awards. And the idea that Jen Psaki is sitting there in the White House briefing room talking about my military qualifications, and with all due respect, we all serve our country in different ways, but I don't believe she spent a day in the military. It sounded to me unbelievably disrespectful to have her get up there and question my qualifications to serve on the board that I was appointed to in 2019 and have done so ably, I think, for the past 2 years. But this just shows you, Dana, the length that this administration will go to politicize every institution that still exists.
I mean, what the position on the board, I mean, the way that I've seen so many people try to defend Biden's actions in whether it's CNN or MSNBC or some of these editorials or, the talking heads on Twitter, they act like you apparently carry so much leverage and power that you could undermine Donald Trump in the manner that Mark Milley has apparently, or undermine Joe Biden the way that Mark Milley apparently tried to do with former President Donald Trump, which is a whole other subject. But what do they lose by having you all stay in your positions?
Well, two things. Number one, just to be clear, the Board of Visitors is like a board of trustees. We provide oversight and feedback. So the idea is to make sure that our naval officers are the most trained and educated and have the curriculum and the tools they need to succeed and lead our sailors in the next generation. I've got 3 months left on this term. I'm really not sure. I had one more meeting to go to. I'm really not sure. But what I do believe, and part of the reason that I wrote the book Radical Nation, is because I believe that their policies are in pursuit of a bigger thing, which is a permanent Democratic majority. So you get rid of all the Trump appointees on the Naval Academy, the West Point, and the Air Force Academy Board, and you can start screwing with the curriculum, adding in things like critical race theory, and no one's going to push back if they're all the Biden people. But right now, they know that if they have Trump folks like myself, I'm going to raise my hand and say, wait a second, why are we injecting that into the curriculum at the Naval Academy, or others could say it at West Point? But they want to make sure that they have the latitude that they need to reform these places in their likeness. Joe Biden, and I make it clear in the book, said that he was going to be the most progressive president ever. People didn't take him at his word then, and they should have, because he's doing everything he can to remake the country.
Wow. And that's 3 months left on your term to serve. I mean, there is the phrase, learn to pick your battles. This just seems like a dumb battle for this administration to pick, to go at you and I know there are others, but you particularly had 3 months left on your term. I mean, they could just let you quietly serve it out and then appoint whomever they want to do. Why not?
Exactly.
Why didn't they do that?
But because it's, number one, it's petty. And that's who they are. Number two, it's politics. And I think that number three is they know they're not going to get any pushback from the media, right? Not one member of the White House press corps said, excuse me, Jen Psaki, we all hate Sean Spicer in the press corps, so okay, fine. We don't like Kellyanne Conway. But really, can you say that about H.R. McMaster? Can you say that about General Jack Keane? Can you say that about Lieutenant General Guy Swan? Can you say that about Captain Megan Mopes, who's an Afghanistan veteran and West Point grad? I mean, gosh, Jen, is that really appropriate? But you can if you know that you have a complicit White House press corps that isn't going to say anything. And I think at the end of the day, like I said, if it's in pursuit of this greater democratic stranglehold over society that will usher in more and more progressive policies, well, then you're going to do it. And that's what I think that we have to understand, is that they realize that they have a limited amount of time to reshape the nation as quick as possible.